To create a lathe object, I don't know if that's correct grammar, lathe, but let's create this Grecian urn that everybody keeps talking about. What's a Grecian urn? Oh, about $10 an hour. Bad. Okay, let's begin. Here's what I like to do. First of all, when I'm going to work in here, because I need a lot of detail, I'm going to get into my biggest view possible. It's just the way I work. I'm going to select my spline draw, and let's discuss this. I'm going to start off on the x-axis, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put one, and you can see you can drag it around, put wherever you want. If I were to go up here and put another point, you can see that it creates this curve, and it's very difficult to get any kind of square geometry going. But if you move this close and you use it as a constraint, you can then come up here and get a nice little curve on the angle right down here at the corner, but you're still going to have a nice vertical piece. Likewise, when you want to go back this way, grab yourself a constraint, put it down, get it real close, and then bring it over. And now you've got your little angle, and as long as you're going to go straight, do that. And let's start making this up here. We'll just kind of make these go. And you notice I have a habit of dragging these things in. I like to start away and drag them in because it just makes it easier. Anyway, I'm going to continue drawing this while you take a break. There's no sense for you just watching me draw this silly object. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, I'm back, and I've kind of got my little thing all done here, my urn. I'm going to just kind of tweak this just a little bit and kind of make it a little smoother. You'll find out that you can move these points as long as you don't commit by hitting the enter key. You can continue to move these around. But let's go ahead and take this, accept it, because it's what we do. And now we're going to go back to a 4 viewport view, and I'm going to center this all up using the A key so I can see it. And the next thing we're going to do is, and this is very, very important when you do this, is you'll notice that, oh silly me, I didn't get the beginning points exactly on the y-axis. So we're going to have to get those centered up. X-wise, we'll get them centered up to 0. So let's go ahead and go into point mode, and let's just select those 2 points. The detail tab right up here, go to set value, and on the X, let's take it to 0, which it is, and just accept it. You see that the points now have moved to 0. We're not going to get any broken or weird geometry or overlapping edges. This will work a whole lot better. So let's go now into polygon mode, and if we go into the multiply tab, there is our lathe right there. And if we just activate it, now I like to always use my numeric window when I'm doing this kind of geometry. So I'm going to bring it up, and there it is. And the reason I like this is because we can actually change it on the fly here, because we can say, okay, well, we want more sides, we want less sides, we want only a pentagon. So we can just create this, but 24 sides seems to work pretty good for me. And you can also change the start and stop point of the geometry. You can see this happening. Let me move this window over here, and you can see right in here where the geometry is changing, or getting it to end angle at 360 is what we want, so it's closed. We're going to keep that Greek wine in that urn. I don't know, is that what they use them for? Anyway, you can also change the start angle likewise. But let's accept this because we're happy with it, and we'll just go ahead and close the numerics window, and let's go ahead and tab this now just to see how it's going to look. It looks pretty good, actually. Looks like maybe a salad bowl instead of a Greek urn, but we can fix that later. It looks pretty good. All right. Now, one thing I want to touch base on here just real quickly, if you'll notice the number of polygons that we've created here when we did this lathe, okay? Not too bad. But I've created another urn in with the bevel tool, and you can see it has far less polygons. And if we were to go into the views, you can see that it actually still looks pretty good. There wasn't anything weird that happened here. So the texture retained it. I prefer, when I'm doing symmetrical objects like this, I prefer the bevel tool. It was just how I was taught. But the spline will work also. You'll just get a lot more polygons, and you have pretty good control on what you do with it. So there you have it, how I use splines and the lathe tool.